You have taken on this as a job. When you say you will homeschool your children, it's a job. And I know that's hard to hear, but if you're not willing to do that, maybe you need to have a real heart-to-heart with yourself
and, and the Lord.
And the Lord and whoever else might be involved in this decision.
So talk about maybe the mom then who is not organized enough. She's not disciplined enough. She's just kind of scattered all over the place. And she's like, okay, well, maybe I can figure out how to do the academic part of it. I can figure out curriculum. I can do some online things. Maybe we could do a co-op. But in reality, when I'm home with my kids, I'm a scatterbrain and I'm not organized enough, or I'm just too busy dealing with a lot of kids. What do you say to that mom? Because that's a tough one too, where moms are like, I'd like to homeschool, but you don't understand what my house is like. You don't understand how loud it is and how busy it is. And I don't have time to sit with my kids, or I don't have the discipline to sit with my kids and teach them.
Well, I'm going to say one thing that's hard, maybe two things that are hard, and then hopefully give some helpful tips.
Yeah.
So the first thing that's hard is it goes back to what I said, I believe, in the last episode. You have taken on this as a job. When you say you will homeschool your children, it's a job. And I know that's hard to hear, but if you're not willing to do that, maybe you need to have a real heart-to-heart with yourself
and and the Lord
and the Lord and whoever else might be involved in this decision.
Yeah.
And then the second thing that's, I don't know that it's hard. We all have growth journeys to be on.
Yeah.
I still to this day have things that I need to work on and grow in. And that's been true from the moment I was born, but especially in this homeschool journey. And so when you say, I'm not organized, I'm overwhelmed, I'm uneducated, all of those things are opportunities for growth. So you need to recognize that whatever is coming out as an excuse, that's the hard part to hear because it is an excuse.
Oh, that hurts.
I know. But when that's coming out as an excuse, you have to look at that and say, okay, but I have accepted this job. Therefore, I'm choosing to grow in that. And so for organization, you know what? Sometimes it's just as simple as forcing yourself, putting it on the calendar that every Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, whenever it works best for you, you pull out a piece of paper and you write down whatever you need to write down to get yourself organized. Because a lot of times it's not necessarily the school that's the problem.
Right.
It's the house chores. It's the menu planning. It's the errands that need to be run.
Yeah.
Set aside 1 hour weekly where you say, no, I'm going to purge all of the things that I know need to happen. And I'm going to attempt to put those in some kind of reasonable order for doing. And that is my growth portion. So I told you in the first episode that I tended towards a Charlotte Mason education. One of her main principles is we do habit training with our kids.
Yeah.
Habit training is one habit at a time. And you have probably heard or read before that it takes a good 30 days to train a habit.
Yeah.
I would venture to say it might take longer.
Yes. Yeah. Depending
especially
on the
when
habit.
it's
or to break a habit even.
Or if we're breaking a habit. Yes. If it's something deep seated. So we don't work on a million of them at once with kiddos.
Yeah.
We work on one and we really solidify that habit. But when we're doing that as parents, we communicate the habit and we check in on the habit daily before we ever start backing off to where we might check in every couple of days. And then we back off and we check. And by the time we're fully backed off, that should be a habit that they have set. And then we get to start working on another habit with them. Well, you guys, it's no different when we're working with ourselves. Think of the one thing that you need to grow in first. Figure out how you're going to do that. So if it's not organized, I just gave you one tool for not being organized. If it's, I have a lot of kids and I don't know how to sit down and teach them all. Well, then you're going to sit down and have a planning session with your own brain. You're going to have to get someone to watch the kids for a minute so you can physically think about, what can I do? How can I do some of this together with the kids? How can I have maybe an older one reading with a littler one while I work with a middle one on something that middle one really needs help with.
Right.
It is you thinking proactively and productively about how you face that challenge that you're trying to turn into an excuse.
Yes.
Because the truth of the matter is you took this on as a job, and it is your responsibility to educate your children.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes your challenges aren't as big as you think they are.
Yeah. I think you're
really
right.
and truly.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.